So I was so thrilled to see that you were chosen to take over the reins from Nick Nurse, because I thought that this Canadian basketball program needs some special treatment, needs someone who's going to give it some full energy and really, really try to grow with this team and make it the best it can be. So if it's getting the treatment it deserves, which I believe, what is the Jordi Fernandez treatment?
I mean, first of all, a lot of commitment, big commitment, trying to bring all my experience, not just in FIBA, but also my relationships in the NBA, and just grow the program, right? Like right now, we're sitting at 15, and we believe that it can be all the way to number one. So excited, ready to work, ready to develop, and ready to be part of a team. That's my number one priority.
So in this, you haven't been elected to this role for too long. Was there an opportunity to chat with former coach Nick Nurse, or any influence in him helping you get this role in terms of the turnover here in a short period of time to be named as the head coach?
Yeah, I spoke with Nate before, with Nick, sorry, also with Nate, that he's remains on the staff. But no, he was great. I know that the program means a lot to him. All the commitment that he's shown in the past year. So he was great, helping me get situated once he decided and he announced that he couldn't be part of the program. So he was great for me, and I'll continue to work on, on what he was trying to do, is bring the program all the way to the top.
So what's life been like for you since taking this job? Clearly, you're juggling that and your responsibilities with the Sacramento Kings. But this is kind of like a really specific thing. Like if you're doing a player search or a query, I mean, there's only so many Canadian basketball players who are going to be available to you playing in the NBA and playing high level elsewhere. So you're turning your attention to a really, really specific subset of players that maybe you hadn't given that much consideration towards before. So how much work has it been to get up to speed with the program and the players, and reaching out and working with them and building strategies towards some really important games later this summer?
I mean, you can imagine an opportunity like this requires a lot of work, a lot of thought. And, the good thing is I'm familiar with all these guys, not just in the NBA, but also the guys that I've played in FIBA. So right there, I feel very comfortable that the group will be very, 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 very competitive. My number one priority is to get them organized and to get them prepared for adversity. I think that if we put the team first and we have the team first mentality, that's how we're going to overcome adversity when we face it.
We're talking to Jordi Fernandez, head coach of the Canadian men's national basketball team. Tonight they'll be announcing their roster for the FIBA World Cup, and you can see that on the Global Jam broadcast. So I think that it's fair to say there's sometimes been a buy-in issue or concern from fans about Canadian basketball players wanting to really be a part of this. Is there a renewed hope or a renewed faith in that players will really want to be able to represent their country here moving forward, not only at the FIBA World Cup, but for more seasons and years to come?
So far, my experience with them, the commitment has been awesome. The commitment and the excitement, and you guys will see it on the list. My experience in international basketball, in a very good program like the Spanish national team or the Olympics with the Nigerian basketball team, is it's hard to be 100% in, so all the players to be in at once. There's sometimes personal situations and some other situations, so we understand and support their decisions, and the group that we end up having is very talented and committed. That's the most important thing. So that's right now. This is going to be a very special group, and if not one of the most talented groups that we've ever had.
Only one of us knows if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be on that team, but I'm hoping he will, and I'm confident that he will, because Shai has loved wearing the red and white and representing his country. Of course, he is Canada's best basketball player. If you get a chance to work with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, how excited are you for that opportunity?
Extremely excited, and you said it. His commitment has been amazing, and he's been a connector within the group. So the way he's shown how much he loves the like you said, that jersey and what it means for him. So having the chance to coach him, I've obviously talked to a lot of these guys involved in the program, so I can only say like great things about him.
Is there a new name or like a younger up and coming player? Doesn't have to be on this roster because I know you can't say that specifically, but someone that fans will come to love or come to appreciate with their opportunity to represent Canada, whether at this stage or moving forward?
I think youth is something that we clearly have, and some of the guys that will be on the list are very young, so the future is bright. And then, as you guys know, there's going to be others that are not on the list, and they've been drafted or they will be, and that's what the reason why we will be a number one program for a long, long time, hopefully forever, if we keep building the group the right way.
Jordi Fernandez, head coach of Canada's national men's basketball team, on the line with us. Okay, so you obviously have experience in international basketball, both since you came to the United States, but also clearly before that, being a native of Spain. How well is this roster catered towards playing international basketball, and how much of an advantage does Canada have with you, who has coached international basketball before?
Well, you know that the FIBA game, especially, you don't need always the best individual talent to win a tournament. You need the best team to win a tournament. And whoever buys into that usually is the group that ends up with the medals, with a trophy. And obviously I experienced that with Spain. We were very talented for a long, long, long time. But the most important thing is the guys bought into what I just said. The team is the first thing, and there's nobody that should be more important than the team right now. So far, the conversations that I've had with every single guy on the Canadian national team, they're excited to be part of the team, and they're excited to all fight together, embrace their role, and do what's best for Canada basketball to be successful.
So we know in our market here, the Toronto Raptors were looking to make some changes, and they did so on their bench and their staff. I know you were involved with that interview process, a finalist nonetheless. What did you maybe learn about the Raptors throughout that process, or how close it felt that you were able to land a position there?
I learned a lot about the process. I learned a lot about myself. Obviously, I have a lot of respect for the organization, the Toronto Raptors, for Masai and all his group. So I was very honored to have the opportunity. And like you said, didn't go my way. But what happened after that is that I was offered the job with Canada Basketball. So everything happens for a reason. And right now I'm extremely excited to be where I am.
The resume is really impressive, Jordi. You've worked with LeBron James when he was a young guy. You worked with Nikola Jokic recently. You've worked between those two with some of the greatest players this game has ever seen. What stands out, or what's different about those two beyond what we see? I mean, we see the brilliance on the court, but when it comes to guys like Jokic and LeBron, what are the differentiators?
You mentioned LeBron, you mentioned Nikola, but you forgot to mention Jamal Murray.
Well, let's hear about Jamal Murray. What differentiates him?
No, I was just saying, obviously, those two guys are winning players. So is Jamal. And I've learned a lot from all of them. I think the two that you mentioned first, Nikola and LeBron, their ability to make their teammates better, it's what it's impressed me. And Jamal, his level of competitiveness, he can take the game to a different level, and especially after coming back from his injury, I was personally very happy for him because I know what he went through. But again, that's another guy on the program and that has been part of the program that always has embraced it.
I get a feeling maybe Jamal Murray might be on the team today. Hopefully that is the case. So. Of course. Okay, so of course, we mentioned Darko Rajakovic taking over with the Raptors. You're taking this job. You came over to the United States at a really early age. But when we talk about coaches that did get their start in Europe, Is it like a shared dream where the goal is to get to the NBA, or is that not the case for everyone who gets their start in basketball overseas, at least overseas compared to the market we're in?
In my personal story, it just happened the way it happened. Obviously, I started, like you said, grew up in Barcelona, city right outside, actually, Badalona. And basketball has been my life. First a player, then coaching since I was very young. I had the opportunity to come to the U.S., and this happened. So I've been very fortunate because, everybody talks about the FIBA basketball versus NBA basketball. And I don't think there's better or worse. It's just like two great and two different styles. And I've been very fortunate to work on both at the highest level. So I'm very lucky to have knowledge on both sides. So that's, I think, what I can bring to the program.
Last one for you, Jordi. You mentioned your Barcelona roots. I'm kind of obsessed with Barcelona just as like a sporting program. So I want to know who your favorite ever athlete is to wear Barcelona colors.
And what sport?
Any sport.
Ooh.
That is a good question. So I'm going to go with a sport that probably you're not familiar with. I'm going to go handball.
All right.
And I'm going to go the goalie, who is Gonzalo Perez de Vargas, is one of the best goalies in the world. He's been in the Olympics. He's been in the Worlds. He's one of the best at what he does. And he's actually helped me on some of like the defensive drills that we do, because his hand-eye coordination translates to, or whatever he works on hand-eye coordination translates to basketball. So we integrated a lot of that stuff in Denver, and then we did it in Sacramento too. So I'm going to go with him.
Maybe he'll be announced as a member of the Team Canada coaching staff today.
I don't think he's going to be on the roster.
On the coaching staff, maybe later today when they have their announcement. Jordi, we appreciate you joining us today. Great to get some insight. Congrats on the head coach role with Team Canada here. We're looking forward to watching and cheering you guys on.
I appreciate you guys.